So Chelsea have found their new manager after Pochettino left. Well, we obviously know what happened there. He got sacked. I honestly think Pochettino was the best fit for Chelsea because he got them into a European competition. And yeah, he managed to make what started as a really bad season into a really good season, and that's more than Chelsea did the season before that. Yeah, he's got them into a European competition, and no one expected that for Chelsea this season after the start to the season they had. Enzo Maresca. Honestly, I think they could have waited a bit because pre-season doesn't start for ages. The season doesn't start for at least 2 months. We're not even in June yet. Like, chill out. You don't need to find a manager as soon as Pochettino has left, or as we know, has been sacked. You don't need to find a new manager immediately. It took Liverpool a hell of a lot of time to find a new manager. Now they've got Arne Slot. It was going to be Xabi Alonso, but then he said he didn't want to manage any club other than Leverkusen. As I said, you don't need to find a manager as soon as your current one leaves. There is no need for it. I think they could have gone bigger and better than Enzo Maresca. I mean, at least that's two people in the team that are called Enzo Fernandez and Enzo Maresca. But you could link it to him being at City beforehand, before he managed Leicester. You could link him to Cole Palmer, Romeo Lavia. Obviously, because the two played for City when Enzo Maresca was in Pep Guardiola's coaching staff. A couple of managers, a great manager that has been tutored under Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta. Look what he's done with Arsenal. And then Enzo Maresca, he has won the championship with Leicester, and Leicester are now in the Premier League. But is it going to be one of these situations where, could it be a Graham Potter situation? Now, obviously Chelsea have done better this season than they did last season, but that doesn't stop from what happened with Graham Potter to happen again with Enzo Maresca. That doesn't stop. It doesn't stop what happened with Graham Potter to happen with Enzo Maresca. To go from a Manchester City nobody to a Leicester City winning title manager to Chelsea in the Premier League, it's a big step. And I think Chelsea are making a big mistake. I mean, we've seen what Todd Bowley has done in the past. He's made big mistakes in the past, like signing Enzo Fernandez for nearly £120 million. That hasn't worked out. He signed Michaela Mudryk for a large sum of money. Again, didn't work out. Caicedo, he bought for a very large sum of money too. Again, didn't work out. Although Caicedo is starting to come into his own, and I think he could get better next season. Nicholas Jackson hasn't really worked out either. You know what? I could see Enzo Maresca getting sacked into the first 4 months of his job. I could actually see that happening because I don't think Enzo Maresca is good enough. I could be totally wrong. We could come back to this video in 11 months' time and I could have absolutely embarrassed myself. But I don't think Enzo Maresca was the right choice for Chelsea, and I think they could have gone bigger and better. Look what managers were on the cards. Julian Nagelsmann. Xavi is now on the cards because he's been sacked from Barcelona. De Zerbi. There are 3 good managers there that Chelsea could have had, but they went for Enzo Maresca. I think they wanted Kieran McKenna at one point. Kieran McKenna is staying at Ipswich Town, which I think is a very good decision. Chelsea haven't made the best of decisions over the last few years. Yeah, I don't. This all stems back to when they sacked Thomas Tuchel. If he'd have stayed at the club, then Chelsea might not have the problems they have now. I don't think they need Enzo Maresca. They don't need him. I think Pochettino should have stayed. After what Pochettino had done with Chelsea at the back end of last season, the season just gone, I don't think he would have left on his own back. I do not think he would have left off his own back. There's got to have been some kind of talks between him and Todd Bowley to say, look, you're not the right fit. I think we need to go for someone that fits the criteria more. But what is the criteria at Chelsea? What is the criteria? Because they've had in the last 2 seasons, they've had Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter. Then they had who after that? I can't even remember who they had after that. I think it was like Bruno Salter or something. Then they had Lampard. They've had 5 managers in the last year. I can't even remember who they had after Graham Potter. I think it was Bruno Salter. But I can't even remember. It's mad. It's like Man United. They went through 3 managers in one season. Solskjaer, then Carrick, then that one from the Dutchland, Rangnick. I don't even remember who they had after Graham Potter. I think it was Salter, but I could be completely wrong. Yeah, Frank Lampard was a disaster both times. But yeah, Pochettino has improved the squad a little bit more. And I think ultimately Enzo Maresca will end up in tears. Not Enzo Maresca himself, well, he might. But I think this deal will end up in tears. And it will end up with Chelsea fans in tears, probably. Just when Chelsea thought they were getting a bit of good, sort of, when they were getting some good things happen at the club, it's just gone to absolute pot. It has just gone to nothing. It's really just gone south, and I think Chelsea have made a massive, massive, massive mistake. Because Enzo Maresca was managing Leicester last season, who have finished first. But he's an unproven manager. Yes, he's won the championship. But it's not hard to do that. With a team like Leicester as well, who were the favourites to win the championship. It's not hard to do that. Now he's going into the Premier League. This is exactly what happened with Potter. He was great at Brighton, and then he went to Chelsea when Thomas Tuchel went tits up, and then look what happened there. Graham Potter was sacked, and it's probably the most terrible run that Chelsea have ever been on. Yeah, I think they're making a massive mistake with Enzo Maresca. A massive, massive mistake. They could go for bigger and better. Yes, he has links with Cole Palmer and Romero Lavia, but what's Romero Lavia done? He'll get loaned out to bloody Hull City or Southampton next season. Back to Southampton. He'll be sold within a couple of seasons. I don't even know why Chelsea bought him. I mean, he could become a great player. it's probably a 50-50 split sort of thing. He could either become a really good player or just become an ultimate flop. So he's not been too lucky over the last season with injuries, but there you go. That's yeah. Yeah, Chelsea making a massive mistake. Enzo Maresca, I don't think is the right fit at all. But let's just see how it goes. It could go amazing. It could go to absolute crap within the first 4 months, and he could get sacked. Yeah. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do, which means like, subscribe, turn post notifications on, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.